Welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I am Lupagus. It's time to react to the Vikings PFF grades in the huge win over the Falcons. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, and comment. And as always, disclaimer, think what you will with PFF. I always like just to see if our interpretations of the game line up with their grading scale, whatever that mystery formula may be. So let's start with the bottom five offense, bottom five defense, and we'll finish on a positive note. So let's start with the bottom five. These are the five lowest graded players according to PFF, and the Vikings dominating win over the Falcons. Number five was your center, Garrett Bradbury, with a 55.4. Completely fair. The dude just keeps getting overmatched. Grady Jarrett was over him yesterday and definitely won his fair share of matches. The pressure seems to come on that left side middle most of the time, and we'll talk about his running mate there pretty soon. But Garrett Bradbury, I agree with 100% with PFF on that one. Seems about right, which is actually Garrett Bradbury, 55.4. That's about average for him. Brandon Paul with a 54.8. This is just as a receiver. I guess his offense. It must just be as a receiver. I don't know. I remember him seeing line up there a couple times, but I don't remember him getting a whole lot of touches out there. I mean, everything went. I don't think he had a target. Everything went Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson's way. A little bit of TJ Hawkinson sprinkled in. So Brandon Paul, 54.8. Sure, whatever. There it is. Number three, left guard Blake Brandel to 54.8. He was awful. Penalties, screwing up his assignments, letting Sam Darnold get completely destroyed. This isn't just a 1 week thing with Brandel. I mean, this has been going on now for 4 or 5 weeks. He's been completely cheeks. And a 54.8 might actually be a generous score. I would argue that should be lower, but they're right to put him in the bottom five. Maybe a little too generous, too nice to Blake Brandel, because he just has not been good in recent weeks. Fullback CJ Ham with a 47.3. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he misses more blocks than he makes. I know you go back and you see some guys out there analyzing plays and you see the good that he does. It's just hard seeing it when you're watching the game. Like, what is he bringing to the table out there on the offense? I know he had the recovery on the big fumble and the kick return, but offensively, I don't know. Maybe it's time we don't use a fullback anymore. And I love CJ Ham. He's from the area, great guy, great dude. I just don't know. He just seems like he's always in this bottom five, and it's hard to argue against it when you watch a game. Number one, the worst graded player on the Vikings offense from the win over the Falcons was wide receiver Jalen Nailor to 47.1. I remember him seeing out there like in one play, 2 plays. I was trying to remember, and I'm not seeing a lot. But again, in a game when Justin Jefferson's hot, Jordan Addison's hot, why would you even think about throwing the ball to Jalen Nailor? No reason to do that because he probably won't even catch it anyway. So those are your bottom five. Again, nothing really to argue about there. Maybe Les Brandel should have been like in the top 2, if not number 1. That was my only complaint there with those rankings. But so far, I mean, that's pretty much how we saw things as well. Let's go bottom 5 on defense. 15 snap minimum. There's a denotation here with a little star. Blake Cashman to 46.4. Are you kidding me? The dude was a menace. Making plays. I don't know how they come up with 46.4 for Blake Cashman. That's insanity. I hate that so much from PFF. I don't know what they're thinking on that one. I think most of us would agree that Blake Cashman was much better than that grade. So that is one I wholeheartedly, every inch of my body, every hair on my head, disagree with that. Jihad War with a 35.5. That's a pretty shitty grade. I don't know what he did. I mean, maybe he's playing inside against this run defense that was getting completely torn up. Horrible grade. And the next guy, Kamugajir Hill, 31.3. When they're out there, apparently they were not doing very well. And I like the fact with this defense that these are low grades because the defense was not good for most of the game on Sunday. So I like that these, like the 5th is a 46. Like, I feel like they're getting rightfully punished here. So PFF, good on you for giving these guys these low grades. Jonathan Bullard, 29.1. And really, where's Bullard been lately? That's a great, just kind of made me start thinking about that. Like, when was the last time John Bullard, you heard his name called during a game, like doing anything really fantastic? Jalen Redmond seems to be the guy making plays on that defense. So Jonathan Bullard, just a name I haven't thought about lately. But yeah, really, where the hell have you been, Bullard? Are you hiding? Number one, the lowest rated defensive player was Harrison Phillips with a 27.5. He's the anchor. He's the run stuffer. He is the gap plugger upper. 27.5. The Falcons are running at will at times. Tyler Algier was getting like 9 yards to carry. Bijan was getting his as well. The middle of the field, right up the gut. That was what was open. That's where the big money was being made. And that's Harrison Phillips territory. And he's been good. He usually shuts those down. I know he wasn't healthy. I'm not making excuses for him, but Harrison Phillips, bad game. He was one of our losers after the game, and we concur with this grade that PFF gave him. So, most part, I think we're on the same page there, except for Blake Cashman. I don't understand that one. Let's go to top five defensive players. And number 5, Gabe Murphy, the undrafted rookie, making his first appearance, 69.5. He was hustling, made some plays, had a few tackles, got some pressure. So Gabe Murphy, I thought he did well. I actually thought Dallas Turner did better. But Gabe Murphy, 69.5. I mean, it's not bad. Jalen Redmond with a 69.7. This should be way higher. I like that he's 4. That's probably about right. 69.7. Especially that first half when the Falcons were just moving the ball down the field. Jalen Redmond was the guy making plays, whether it's sideline to sideline, hustling down the field to make a tackle, swatting down passes. He's been a spark plug lately. And how dare you give him a 69.7? It should be much higher than that. This next one I don't get at all. Harrison Smith with the 74.7. I literally watched him walk in a run defense and kind of just let the guy run by him when he was shooting in on a blitz. Like, he was barely moving. I feel like some of it maybe was effort, some of it maybe not. Maybe just he's not fast like he used to be. I thought Harrison Smith had a bad game yesterday. So 74.7, I don't get it. Maybe this has a lot more to do on the coverage end of things. But as far as his run defense go, I thought it was pretty much ass yesterday. Fabian Moreau with a 75.1 comes in at your second highest graded defensive player. And we didn't see Fabe's name called much yesterday, did we? No flags, no nothing like that. It's a good sign for a defensive back. I don't remember him making a ton of plays either, but Fabian Moreau, did he have any stats? I'm just taking a quick look. He didn't write. Oh, he did. He had 5 tackles. So well done, Fabe. And the number 1 highest rated defensive player was your cornerback, Byron Murphy, with a 76.4. I thought Murphy had a great game, even before the one-handed interception where he maybe should not have ran back into the end zone and take the touchback, which wasn't a touchback, put us up to 2. Just a beautiful play. Came in a great time. He's just been so good lately. He's got like 7 interceptions in the year, 6 or 7 interceptions. His coverage has been solid. He's much better in the run game. He had 3 tackles yesterday, had the pass breakup, the interception. He's been balling out. I think he's going to get paid by the Vikings. I think he'll be here for the foreseeable future. So Byron Murphy, 76.4. I agree with that. And this one really, I mean, Harrison Smith, I don't get it. And then Jalen Redmond, to me, should have had a higher grade. So I'll put Jalen Redmond at 2 with an 89.7. Let's go to the highest rated offensive players. Josh Oliver with a 74. He had the big catch. Run game, we got, 73? Well, Aaron Jones has 73. Run game, we didn't really stick to it, but it seemed like it was working when we were trying. When we wanted to run the ball, we could. So Josh Oliver, thank you for that. Speaking run game, Aaron Jones with an 80.8. When you don't fumble the football a couple times, you find yourself in the end zone and you catch the balls that are thrown to you, you get good PFF grades. And Aaron Jones with an 80.8. Justin Jefferson comes in at number 3 with an 89.7. One of his best games of the year, maybe his best game of the year, with 7 catches, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had long at 52. It was nice seeing 18 back in the thick of things when it comes to this offense. You know who also was in the thick of things was Jordan Addison. He outdid Justin Jefferson by 0.4 points. 90.1 was his grade from PFF. And, 3 touchdown performance, tough grabs, stretching out, laying out for a touchdown, almost catching the ball when he was completely mauled by the defender at one point. Jordan Addison had the game of his life yesterday. 8 grabs. You have a buck. I'm going to have the stats right here. A buck 33, 3 touchdowns. Jordan Addison. Ooh-wee. Really good. 90.1. That could even be higher. And your number 1 rated offensive player with 90.9 is Sam Darnold, the quarterback. 5 touchdown performance. Damn near perfect quarterback rating. I don't know what else he has to do to get this grade higher. Like, how do you take off 9.1 points from his performance yesterday? He held on the ball a couple times. Maybe a couple of sacks were on him. But 5 touchdowns and a near perfect quarterback rating and a play where you're scampering out of pressure to throw down the field to hit Justin Jefferson for a 52-yard connection, and you get a 90.9. It should be 99.9. That's what it should be, PFF. So, yeah, I mean, I love that he's won. That grade should be higher. I mean, at least needs to be a 95-ish, somewhere in there. I don't know how you can deduct 9.1 points from your grading scale based on a guy who throws 5 touchdowns, 347 yards, 157.9 quarterback rating, and he ran for 7 yards, which was him evading pressure in the pocket. The dude was dialed in. He is locked in. He's been on another level the last few weeks. So overall, the ranking was pretty good from these. I just think the grade should be higher on the offensive side of the ball. All right, those are it. That's it. Those are your PFF grades for the Vikings win over the Falcons. I think for the most part, I agree with a lot of them. There was some I didn't, which is fine. We all have our own grading schemes, but we all see things a little bit differently. That's what makes this world beautiful. All right, guys, keep your skull in your hole. Boom.